It has been a year of highs and lows in the racing world. So with the curtain coming down on 2015, the Griffin presents this year's top 10 racing moments. For this list, we have stuck to the best flat racing moments from across the globe. So sorry Jumps fans, but moments like Coney Gree's Cheltenham Gold Cup win only get an honourable mention.
Inexperience, no object. Good position all the way, followed by Tamamo Best Play. Then comes Sounds of Earth.
Number 10, Goldship's Final Hurrah. There have been few horses as popular worldwide as the crazy Japanese grey Goldship, but he is likely to be remembered for one of the strangest seasons in recent times. It all started normally enough with a win at Hanshin, but it was his Tenno Show spring success at Kyoto in May that was truly bizarre. Unable to keep up early, he drifted wide off the track throughout and made an early sweeping run, somehow managing to stay on at the finish. At his next start in the Takarazuka Kinnan, he missed the start by 20 lengths. And after unplaced runs in the Japan Cup and Arima Kinnan, he was retired with a ceremony in front of 100,000 people.
The front at the 250-metre mark. Here comes Goldship. Running on is Sounds of Earth. Wider out, Kisner in between runners. Fame Game. It's still Curran Morotic. Goldship getting to it though. Curran Morotic. Goldship. Goldship goes to the front. Late last impact. It's Goldship. Curran Morotic. Goldship wins, and out wide was Fame Game. Tight for second.
Number 9. Aero Velocity's historic season. This achievement stretches back to late last year, but was only completed earlier this year. Top Hong Kong sprinter Aero Velocity became a trailblazer in 2015, winning Group 1 races in 3 different countries in the same season, the first Sha Tin-trained horse to achieve such a feat. His first came in December 2014, when he won the Hong Kong Sprint, beating this year's winner Peniophobia. He then added the Takamatsunomiya Kinnan in Japan in March, and the Chris Flyer Sprint in Singapore in May. Number 8. Winx reigns supreme. Australian super filly Winx had looked a top-class galloper in the making, with 4 straight wins in the winter and early spring down under. But her demolition job in Australia's Weight for Age Championship, the Cox Plate, was from another realm entirely. It was part stellar ride from Hugh Bowman, part astonishing performance, and hopefully the world awaits the Chris Waller-trained mare in 2016. Her Cox Plate form looks even stronger now, with Criterion running well in the Melbourne Cup, and Highland Reel taking out the Hong Kong Vase at his next start.
Last to finish was complacent. She's blitzed them in the Cox Plate.
Number 7. Solo Takes All. As much as Hong Kong fans, the Griffin included, believe that Able Friend is a better and more brilliant horse than Solo, no one can take away from what has been a breakout year for Freddie Head's Stella Grey. Through 6 runs, he has remained unbeaten, ranging from romps in the Dubai Turf and Prix d'Ispahan to more workmanlike efforts in the Queen Anne and the Sussex Stakes. He capped his year with victory in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes at Ascot, and while Able Friend and now Morris have both produced better performances, Solo is easily the most consistent at the highest level. Number 6. Take at his brilliant best. There were a number of contenders for Ride of the Year, but it was the last big international race of 2015 that arguably produced the winner. A record crowd at Sha Tin for the Hong Kong international races witnessed Japanese legend Yutaka Take producing a masterpiece with his victory on free-running Aishin Hikari in the Hong Kong Cup. Sectionals of 23.5 seconds across the board meant it was going to be very hard for any of his rivals to outgun the perfectly rated leader, and so it proved, with Ryan Moore on Nuovo Record, Neil Callan on Blazing Speed, and Joao Moreira on Designs on Rome, all chasing in vain. Number 5. Moore's Notable 9. Ryan Moore continues to make his name as a globe-trotting rider, and took features in the United States and Hong Kong in 2015. But it was on home soil that the English rider secured his biggest achievement of the year. The jockey won 9 of the 30 races at Royal Ascot in June, including the St James's Palace Stakes on Gleneagles, and it could easily have been more. Incredibly, despite missing almost a quarter of the year through injury, he nearly defended his world's best jockey title, ultimately falling short to our next entry.
Giovanni Canaletto, Golden Horn now being asked to improve on the inside of Success Days.
Number 4, the revival of Dettori. The last few years have been topsy-turvy for Frankie Dettori, but the charismatic Italian was back on top of the world in 2015, largely thanks to his efforts on Golden Horn.
Edges to the front, the complexion changes as Golden Horn now begins to run at his stable companion. Golden Horn and Jack Hobbs, the intense moment in the derby.
John Gosden's 3-year-old was the best European galloper of the season, highlighted by wins in the Derby at Epsom and in the Arc, and it was Dettori's ride at Longchamp that attracted plaudits from around the world. He also produced a top ride on American sprinter Undrafted to win the Diamond Jubilee Stakes, giving him enough points to claim the world's best jockey title.
Second again, third and fourth tight between New Bay and Trev. She could never quite reel in Golden Horn.
He gets going.
Number 3, Magic Man Moreira. Consider the depth of the Hong Kong jockey ranks, arguably the strongest roster in the world, and you have some context as to why many think Joao Moreira is the best rider in the world. Plenty of riders have tried and failed in Hong Kong, but Moreira rides at a strike rate rarely seen anywhere on the planet. He rode 174 winners in Hong Kong this calendar year, and has 200 winners in his sights for the Hong Kong season. The scary thing is, the Brazilian rider just keeps on improving, and antics like his whip trick on Sun Jewelry, which went viral, demonstrate his natural horsemanship. Number 2, Payne, a Melbourne Cup princess. Never has a 100-to-1 winner in one of the world's biggest races been so widely celebrated as Michelle Payne's shock success on Prince of Penzance. Few could have seen the Darren Weir-trained gelding, a Moonee Valley Cup runner-up, figuring before the race, but few would have changed the result afterwards. Payne used her moment in the spotlight to call for equality in racing and became an overnight celebrity in Australia, as did her brother, Strapper Stevie.
Michelle, this is stuff you dream about as a kid, and you've spent your life in horse racing. What a moment.
Unbelievable, Sam. I lied in bed last night and I gave my chance a little time to think and dream about it, and I thought about, imagine if I'm talking to you after this race.
Both Michelle and Stevie have become terrific ambassadors for racing, and the result injected a touch of romance and a bit of spark into Australia's biggest sporting event. Number 1, American Pharaoh creates history. The racing story of a generation, American Pharaoh not only became the first horse in 37 years to win the American Triple Crown of the Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes and Belmont Stakes, but he also added the Breeders' Cup Classic to his haul against the older horses. All of this came only 12 months after California Chrome's owner Steve Coburn said,
I'll never see, I'm 61 years old and I'll never see, in my lifetime, I'll never see another Triple Crown winner because of the way they do this. It's not fair to these horses that have been in the game since day one.
American Pharoah's Belmont Stakes win provoked emotion rarely seen on racetracks. While the son of Pioneer of the Nile saved his best effort for last with the scintillating victory in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So what does 2016 have in store? Make sure you stay tuned to the South China Morning Post for all the best racing news from Hong Kong and around the world.